Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy, this your motherfucking boy, King No Uncensored. This was a wild ass night of basketball. Not even gonna hold you. Not even gonna hold you. This was some wild shit. I mean, this game was very interesting. you know, the Pistons are now, what is it? Not 8-3 without Kate or 9-3? Y'all correct me in the comments, but yeah, this 130 to 129, this turned out to be crazy. McCollum always gives the Pistons problems, bro. This nigga goes, oh my God, every game. I cannot stand CJ McCollum. Steve Urkel looking ass. Killing my team. But Dyson Daniels, damn. Okay, Jalen Johnson went crazy. Wow. Hold on, let me put all the stats on. Wow. Okay, Atlanta. Jalen Duran held it down with 26 and 14. I mean, hey man, if Detroit can get this production while Cade's there, Detroit could go to the finals. I'm not gonna lie. Because they have the defense. They have the players, they have the rotation. They just don't have consistency from the bench. But, Detroit ran into a team that's hotter than them. Detroit's good, and solid without Cade Cunningham, but Atlanta's the hottest team out. And I think Atlanta's bench is much better than ours, despite the performances being a little bit more even. Because, I mean, if you're Atlanta, you got Kaminga, bro. That's all you really need. Not to mention Ricochet and Buddy Hield and Gabe Vincent and Corey Kispert. Like, that's a squad, in my personal opinion. But the starters held it down. They did really, really well. They just couldn't close them out, man, because they came back from down 21 in this game. But yeah, that was a hell of a game, though. Let me see. Let's go back. Lakers and Pacers. I mean, the Lakers dominated the game throughout, but the Pacers hung in there and balled out. Jesus, LeBron, 23, 9, and 9. Shit. Jackson Hayes. So, no Ayton, no problem, eh? And then Jackson Hayes' first start in a long time, 21 and 10. 2 steals, 2 blocks. That's crazy. Luka, 43, 6, and 7. Austin Reeves, 25 points. I don't know, guys. I think the Lakers can get out of the first round this year. I am convinced. Despite them being lackluster defensively. But 8 niggas in double figures for Indiana. I'm telling you guys, next year, Indiana is going to be a problem when Tyrese Halliburton comes back. Whenever he's supposed to. Bro, if they could get this production out of this team with Halliburton there, they could go on a deep playoff run in the East. They can get back to the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Even though I have a video out called Very Early 2026-2027 Predictions, where I predict what happens next year without hindsight of the possible picks that are going into the draft. I'm just giving educated guesses, so you can check out that playlist on the channel. But yeah, this turned out to be an interesting game. The returns of Paul George and Joel Embiid, 157 points from the Sixers. I told you guys this. If the Sixers can get everybody on the court, they can make some noise. They could maybe get out of that first round and be very competitive in the second round against either a Detroit or Boston. Even though Boston has always been the Philadelphia 76ers kryptonite, and Philly actually got a team that can compete with them. But my only worry about Philly is their bench. I think Boston's bench is much better despite the star power that Philly has. But no Maxey. If Maxey plays, they would have probably scored 200 points. But again, bench consistency. Hell, even Kyle Lowry got minutes tonight. Wow. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 niggas in double figures and still lost by 20. That's fucked up. This was a wild ass night. I had to give y'all this, man. This is in fucking insane, bro. Wow. Joel Embiid, 35 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Paul George is back from that 25-game suspension. Ironically, I was just talking about Paul George steroid shit with my mom, and now this motherfucker's back. 28 points. They got to test that nigga again, bro. They got to test this motherfucker again, bro. They got to test Brody again, broski. I mean, there was no way I was going to do this in 3 minutes. Hell to the no. Okay, let's see what we got. Thunder versus Celtics. Wow. I saw this game, man. I'm surprised the Thunder were completely out of character. The whole squad was even back for the first time in a long time. You can tell that they lost a little bit of a step in chemistry. Even though Shea was Shea, Jalen Williams was not Jalen Williams tonight. And Chet Holmgren was very... How can I put this? He kind of disappeared, in a sense. He wasn't aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't aggressive at all tonight. Despite the production from the bench. You know what I'm saying? Boston came to play at home. So these guys split. I mean, you had Jason Tatum with 19, 12, and 7. Like a regular night for him. Then you had Jaylen Brown, 31, 8, and 8. MVP candidate. Definitely in the top 5 now. With obviously Kate not qualifying for it. Unfortunately, a lot of NBA people want the rule change. We'll see about that progress. But yeah, man, Boston definitely made a statement. I mean, like I said, I think Boston can, go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Been saying that the whole year. It could be Detroit and Boston. Barring injury, of course. Let's see, Miami beat the brakes off of Cleveland. Miami needed this win more than Cleveland did. Cleveland's pretty much secure. I think they're probably, I think Cleveland's secure at number 4. And probably might look to go after the Knicks in the standings. Miami needed this because Atlanta is hot. I'm going to take a look at the standings before I get off of here. So, 7 niggas in double figures. You got team effort. You see, Miami could beat a lot of teams. They can. They're built for it. I just feel like Miami needs a superstar to go with Wiggins, Powell, Adebayo, and Hero. I think that guy is Giannis Antetokounmpo. But I'm surprised Cleveland slacked like this and fell like this. Harden was not good in this game. Wasn't aggressive offensively enough for them to at least stay in the game. I see they tried to change their little lineup or whatever. Max Strus came back the other night. He wasn't playing today, so I guess he was on minutes restriction or something. Or just resting him. But that's very fucking interesting that Miami beat the hell out of Cleveland like that. At home. On the road. I honestly do not want to talk about this game because this game was not interesting at all. Outside of the Victor Wembanyama and Gigi Jackson dunk off. This was an interesting game. The Wizards beat the Jazz by 23, and Julian Reese had 26 and 17 and 3 steals and three. Oh, wait. No, that's not his stats. Okay, he had a steal and a block. But still, Angel Reese's brother went crazy on the Jazz. Jaden Hardy at 21 off the bench. That's wild. No wonder why they beat the hell out of them. Shit, Cody Williams and Ace Bailey were the only ones that played. They rested Bryce Sensabaugh. I mean, I guess that's weird. But I want to get to these games, man. All three of these was crazy. I got to see them, so I got to watch this. I got to watch the second half of this game. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I started the second quarter on this game, and it was an ugly game. Kevin Durant, despite having 30 points, 6 turnovers, and all of those turnovers were throughout crunch time. Like Durant took care of the ball up until that third and fourth quarter. Like fourth quarter and overtime, he just made a lot of bad decisions. Despite they'll be like, but he had 30. I don't understand why Kevin Durant gets so many excuses by fans. I've watched Kevin Durant and he's taken accountability for all of his losses. I don't think it's him. I think it's his fans and I think it's people that like Kevin Durant that can't give him any accountability. Yes, he had 30, but he had a very slow start and he had to work for that 30 against this scrappy Timberwolves team. Now, Alperen Sengun surprised me today. You know, he put 30 on Gobert. Like he was killing Rudy Gobert. Fouled him out the game too. And guess what? They still lost. I truly think that this Rockets team will be a first round exit to anybody. Just put any Western Conference team against them, whether it be LA, whether it be OKC, San Antonio, Minnesota. They lost to Minnesota without Anthony Edwards and Ayo Dosumu. That's not a good look. And then to go to overtime with them. I could see if they won by 5. You know, Minnesota's a very scrappy team defensively, so I could see that. Julius Randle, 24 points. McDaniels. Despite McDaniels, right, having 25, and then he didn't even play in overtime. He got hurt. He didn't play in overtime. He was locking KD up. KD missed the 2 free throws during crunch time. He choked. That was disappointing. But not shocking at all. Because, man, ever since, you know, like I said, before the Warriors and after the Warriors, Kevin Durant's teams always seem to have a meltdown. I know it's a regular season game, but you notice the pattern. That shows that he is not as unstoppable as many of you think he is. He is human. He does have bad games. Please stop denying it. This was a bad game for the Rockets because they needed that to take possession of the 4th seed, I believe it was. We'll check the standings in a minute. This was a good game. Like, Dallas gave it their all against Denver, but Denver was just too much. And Cooper Flag having 26 and 8 and 7, that's not bad. But Jamal Murray's the story. 53 points. Is that his career high? Because I remember him having a 50-point playoff game, but I wonder what his career high is. It might be that. But Jesus, 9 threes. I seen him score a lot of points. But look at this stat line. This is crazy as hell, boy. Jokic, you can't put these stats up in a video game. The Nuggets are the stat kings, that's for sure. But if I'm Denver, I want the Houston Rockets in the first round. That'd be a 5-game series. Lickety split. Denver put their ass out in 5. Instantly. If I'm Denver, I want the Houston Rockets. I'm doing everything I can to get to the Rockets because if Jokic putting up these kind of numbers against the Mavericks, imagine what he would do to the Rockets. Peyton Watson in his first game back since injury, 21 points, 7 to 10. He couldn't miss. He hit damn near all his shots. I watched, because I got 2 TVs in the front room. Don't ask how I was able to watch all these games, but still. I watched it with my own eyes. Jamal Murray go crazy. Peyton Watson go crazy. Nikola Jokic stuffing the stat sheet. Then you had the Warriors and the Nets. That game ended up being close as hell for no fucking reason. Wow. Guy Santos, 31 points. That's insane. Kristaps Porzingis, 17 points. Podziemski, 22 points. Once Steph Curry comes back, low-key, this could be a dangerous team. That could be a dangerous team. Damn. I'm not even going to discuss these 2 games as the Trailblazers handled their business as they should against the Bucks. Clippers beat the Raptors, a team that I just don't think is going to make it out of the first round. I just don't respect them. Respect is earned, not given. Just because you're high in the standings, it doesn't mean shit. The Raptors are just the Rockets of the East Coast. That's all they are. Got to keep it 100. Shout out to Detroit for clinching the playoffs. I mean, these 5 are going to be eliminated. Damn! Orlando fell all the way down to 10? I just had to look at the standings again. God damn. That's crazy. And you got Atlanta at 5. Cleveland's comfortable at 4. And they're trying to chase New York for the 3 seed. If Cleveland and Atlanta were to play each other, that'd be a 7-game series because I don't think that either team would let up, but obviously you got to go with the more experienced team, which is Cleveland. New York might sweep Toronto. I think I could see a scenario where New York sweeps them. I just think that New York's too good for Toronto. Toronto ain't never been nowhere. As that group, I should say. Toronto was a lottery team. Brandon Ingram was a great pickup. I think Brandon Ingram's a great regular season player. But he's just not. You can't win a championship with Brandon Ingram as your number 1 option. He's got to be the number 2 option. Scotty Barnes is not a superstar. This is another. I think Toronto reminds me of a low budget version of the Miami Heat. They got good pieces. I think they need a superstar on that team, a superstar guard. Cough Ja Morant, maybe. We'll see one day. I think Toronto should go after Ja Morant. What y'all think? All right, but anyway, Miami fell to 8. Yeah, Miami needed that game because Philly's looking like they back. All they need is Maxey back, and it's Rap City. It's a wrap. Charlotte's at 9 now. Wow. Charlotte on the come up too. Again, this year's play-in is going to be the best play-in my opinion. So Boston would play Philly now. Philly is Boston's bitch. So I'm definitely going to take them. Detroit, Miami. I'd be afraid for Detroit, but I still think Detroit could get out of there, in my opinion. But, what if it ain't Miami? What if it's Charlotte? What if it's Orlando? I think Detroit can beat Charlotte and Orlando, but it won't be easy. Let's take a look at the West. Okay. San Antonio, man. When they're finally healthy, now you got a 55-win team. LA's never going to catch them. So they're probably, this is not good for LA if they slipping. I mean, they're 9-1 in their last 10, but they better not slip. And just like that, Denver's back at 4. Houston Rockets slipped down. This is what I'm saying. Ooh, Denver and Minnesota first round. God damn. That's a 7-game series automatically. I don't know who I would choose to win that series. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Minnesota, unfortunately, because at least Minnesota got defense. Denver's got great offense, but not enough defense. And I think Minnesota balances both, especially when Ant-Man's on the floor. Lakers in Houston, I got LA. I don't have no belief in Houston after tonight. I think whoever they play, I wouldn't want to play San Antonio, Denver, OKC either. So, oof. Then you don't want to slip to the play-in game because they're about 3.5 games behind. Phoenix, they're gonna lose in the first round no matter who they play. I just had a video about who comes out of that play-in game. I'm going with the Clippers in that one. Then Portland Golden State. That will be good. But they need Steph. Yeah, one game. I'm taking Steph Curry. I don't care if Drew Holiday's checking him. All these guys in the bottom have been eliminated, so it's gonna be an interesting year. But this King No None Uncensored, what a crazy night. God damn.